First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. When time permits, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. Today we're here to talk about this. This we're going to call Frank's Folly. Frank has been using for multiple years a one-person Lynx tent. And over the years, while the tent has been perfect and flawless in every way, I had that feeling that I was missing out. I kept watching reviews and they kept talking about how I needed a two-man tent. And after looking at those reviews, I was like, maybe I do need a two-man tent. Maybe I don't have enough room. So I went looking for a two-man tent that was both well-reviewed, seemed dependable over time, and didn't cost $350. And what I settled on was the Mongar 2 by Nature Hike Outdoors. And I basically chose this one because it was the most well-reviewed tent under $250. In fact, it was the best reviewed tent under $350. And it came with everything you need. Unlike other tents I've purchased, this one includes the mat, which is great. And it also comes with quality tent stakes, which no tent I've ever purchased has come with stakes that I don't need to replace. These were fantastic when camping on the Smoky Mountain 500. So let's set the tent up and get a look at this two-man tent. And when I say it's a two-man tent, I'm selling it short. Let's get to that now. The Mongar 2 is a two-person tent, but quite honestly, you could fit 3 adults across on this thing quite easily. It is huge. We have a door on each side, so if you do have 2 people, they can get out on their own side without being in anyone else's way. The framing is 1 stick broken down into a Y over the top, and then this cross piece to keep it open. Now, what's really great about that, sorry, this needs 2 hands, one of my complaints. The benefit to that cross piece is not only is this tall enough to sit up in if you're 6'2", because it's so far back, you just have a tremendous amount of headroom in here. At no time when camping in this, even stuck in the rain, did I feel like I was in a small space. I always felt like I was in a giant open space. And if that's what you're looking for, this tent will absolutely deliver. Up here we have a place to put your light, your wallet, whatever you want to. It's also got one little spot there, another one on the other end. Let's go right to the corner here. So you are as far as you can get. And as you can see, this tent is absolutely enormous. This is a no-see mesh, just as you would expect. Absolutely nothing is going to get through here. Quite nice. So let's go ahead and get the rainfly on. Adding the rainfly takes away none of the spaciousness. Even though you can no longer see out, at no point will you feel like you're in a small space here. This is just immense. And this is the size of the vestibule you get on each side. And that's going to give you plenty of outside storage space, though honestly, I can't imagine why you would need more space than what this provides. Now, the build quality in this tent appears to be phenomenal. Everything is well stitched and well sealed. I have no reason to think that any of these seals will ever fail. On top of that, we have quite a bit of metal in the connectors, heavy duty nylon, solid plastic. We got vents if it's warm. Okay, now you've seen a look at the Mongar inside and out, and you know that I think it's a very quality product. Now let me tell you what I think about it as a tent for me camping. Now, I took this tent on the Smoky Mountain 500, and again, I had come to believe that I needed a larger tent after being in my tent in a couple of rainstorms too many and thinking a one man just isn't comfortable to sit in. And doing that job, being a tent that you can be in a rainstorm in, I give this a 10 out of 10. It is spacious. I put everything but my panniers themselves. I put the bags that go inside of them in with me. Everything was in here. And I never felt like I didn't have room for another person plus all of their gear. So if you're looking for a quality made tent that will hold everything you can possibly bring on a single motorcycle, this is your tent for $169. And from what I've read about the reviews of this tent and the company specifically with all of their tents, you're going to get many years of use out of this, what is relatively a budget two-person tent. But now let's talk about the downside to that. Having the giant tent, while it does not add too much space, this packs down quite nicely. It was really, really more space than I needed. When I put my extra wide mattress in there, I just felt like I was in the middle of a large empty room with nothing else in it, despite having all my things in there. And I don't know why, it just kind of bothered me. It felt like I was wasting space. It felt like I was carrying something I didn't need to, that I would have been better off in a smaller tent. If this thing was 50% smaller, I think it would still be a two-man tent and it would be even better. But for me, it just felt like so much more than I needed. That's obviously me. It may be exactly what you're looking for. It could be the perfect tent. So let's talk about something that I consider a downside to this tent that has nothing to do with me personally. And that is, the tent doesn't go very close to the ground, the fly that is. This tent has amazing ventilation, and if you stake out all four sides, you essentially have 8 to 10 inches of ventilation all the way around. And we were camping in March, so this tent was a cold tent. I mean, it was cold. Even when I went and dropped all the stakes to close the fly around it as much as I could, there was no getting around. I think they sell this as a 3-season tent. I consider this a warm weather tent only, simply based on there's so much airflow. You cannot escape that airflow. You can put it down as much as it'll go, but there's always a space where the air is going to come under and get to you. So when it was raining hard and the wind was blowing, I swear I felt some water blowing in on me. Not enough to make the tent wet, but definitely enough to make me chilled. I had good gear on, keeping me warm, but my face and my head, it is a warm weather only tent, so keep that in mind. I don't think this will serve you well in anything but summer and shoulder seasons. And I mean early shoulder seasons, not, a month or two into it thinking it's not winter yet, I'll be fine. It's not great 3-season. But other than that, I really have to say what you're getting is an excellent tent for an excellent price. And if you're looking for a big tent, this just might be the perfect tent for you. Again, great price, great tent. It's not for me. I think for the most part, I will be going back to my Lynx, which is good in the cold, good in the heat, just big enough, and packing this one away or putting it on Marketplace. Well, I hope my review of the Mongar 2 helped you in some way. Thank you for sticking around, and take care.